I'm going to tell you about this thing called your ego. Everyone has an ego. I have one, and you have an ego. People think about somebody with an ego, like some guy, like he's bragging, like, oh, yeah, I'm the greatest, whatever. They think, oh, this guy's got a big ego. Everybody has one. Now, I'll tell you about the ego. I'll tell you how to learn how to control it and how to master it through practice. Your ego is basically comes from your beliefs, things that you believe in, that you've been influenced from, your upbringing, social media, maybe stuff you see on TV, whatever. And that's the things that influences one's ego. The ego doesn't like to be wrong, and the ego doesn't like to be offended. These are two big things with your ego. Okay. Somebody says something to you, let's say like a family member. Somebody says something to you, or even a friend, whatever, that you don't like, whatever. You know what I mean? There's just something that offends you, whatever, and gets you annoyed, whatever. And then what happens is you say something back, whatever. Then it gets into what they call ego battles, whatever. I'm saying my view, you're saying your view. I know what's really big with that is politics. You know what I mean? You get somebody who's, let's say, like a Republican, the other one's a Democrat, and, they're talking about, Trump, this one's talking about Biden, whatever. It just goes back and forth, whatever. It's a losing battle, whatever. You're not going to change somebody's ego, whatever. You think like you're going to throw all your views and they're going to throw all their views back at you, whatever. You're not going to change it. You're just wasting your time and your energy. You got to learn to do is control your ego. I'll give you examples. Like sometimes I get into like a heated discussion with my wife, whatever. We get in a heated discussion and I tell my view about something. She tells her view. And so it's to go back and forth, whatever. And I get to the point where I've learned how to control whatever. And I say to myself, I'm not saying no more. That's it. I shut my mouth up. I say, shut up, ego, whatever. And we're not saying no more. So she'll say something back, She'll make like another remark back, whatever. And all of a sudden I'll say nothing. Because I just said, I'm not saying nothing. That's it. She could say, I think you're stupid, whatever, anything. And once I make my mind up, that's it. I don't allow it to offend me. I don't allow the ego to take control of me. And I just keep my mouth shut. So she'll say something back. And she don't get a response because I told myself, that's it, we're done. Then she'll say it again. And I don't get a response. Then she knows that I shut down. I don't allow myself to get offended. I'm not sitting inside going, I'm like annoyed, whatever, and I love to say this back to her, whatever. I don't go like an hour later saying, oh, I should have said this. That's the ego controlling you, all right? Learn to master it. This is a great one, you know what I mean? I've seen people, like I said, you say something to somebody, whatever, and all of a sudden they're offended, whatever. Basically, I control their inner state. I got them annoyed, whatever, And I've learned, like I say, how to control mine, whatever. And it just takes practice. Practice. Like anything in life, you practice something over and over, you get good at it. So learn that, not to get into ego battles where, you know what I mean? You're going to have a discussion with somebody, and it's probably happened to you, whatever. A lot of one's big is with family members, you know what I mean? Like you feel like with family members, like you could pretty much say anything to a family member that you would say to a friend, and they can say something back to you, whatever. And that's what's going back and forth, you know what I mean? I'm telling you my view, you're telling me your view, whatever. We're going back and forth, whatever. You're just wasting energy. You're wasting energy. You're not going to change the other person's, their thoughts, whatever. And it just don't get into these, what they call ego battles, And when somebody says something to you, whatever, you know what I mean? And your ego's kicking in and feels like you got offended, now you want to lash back, whatever. It's okay to tell somebody, like I say, that, I don't like what you said, but learn not to get offended inside. That's the ego kicking in. Control your ego. Be conscious of the ego, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Okay? So like I said, the ego likes to be right, and the ego doesn't like to be offended. So learn to control this, whatever. It's big. Practice this. And once you practice it, you'll see, whatever, you know what I mean? That you'll just feel a lot better. When somebody says something to you that's not, sorry. When somebody says something to you that's not to your liking, Don't waste your energy. It's not gonna, you're not gonna change other people's thoughts, whatever. So practice that, and it's big. Once you get to master it, whatever. I practice so many times. I've gotten so great at whatever. Where somebody says something to me to offend me or something like that. I just don't let it bother me, because I control the ego. Ego's not controlling me. So don't let your ego control you. Learn to control it. Like somebody says something to you that gets you offended, whatever, something like that, whatever, or disgust with somebody, throw the brakes on. Remember what I said, whatever. Just say, I'm not saying no more. We're done here. Let them talk, whatever, and say something to you and continue being nasty, whatever. I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to involve. I'm going to let it bother. I'm in control here. My ego is not controlling me. So practice this and control your ego. It's a great thing. You got this.